Now at 6, a Portland family rattled in their beds when an SUV crashes into their living room. How they watched the driver and passengers just walk away.
What are you guys doing?
And the damage left behind. Plus,
it is enormous, and this is the product of years of bipartisan work.
A big boost for Oregon's semiconductor sector. How many new jobs could soon be coming to Gresham? And a local champion for students gets a once-in-a-lifetime thank you.
And I want to give, students as many tools as possible to be successful and be able to, take care of themselves.
The Washington Teacher of the Year headed to Houston to cheer on the Huskies. Well, it happened so fast you could barely make it out as an SUV plows right into a southeast Portland home and comes to a screeching halt. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm David Molko. Incredibly, no one inside that house was injured, and as Ashley Grams reports tonight, those responsible made a run for it.
Just a few days ago, a car careened off the road and crashed into this southeast Portland home, and the family's Ring camera caught it all on video.
So I think right there you can barely see the tail light.
The crash happened early in the morning on December 30th in the Lentz neighborhood. A black SUV lodged in the living room.
Yeah, it just came right through the bay window, and it was just smoke, debris. The fire alarm was going off. I thought, it might as well have been a bomb or a fire. Oh, yeah.
Hung Lee was sleeping at the time in a bedroom toward the back of the house.
Yeah.
But his brother was much closer.
Yeah, this is my brother's room. His head was literally right here where my hand is, basically, reaching through the wall. And luckily, the bed is on wheels on hardwood floor.
The bed rolled forward when the car crashed into the wall, and no one in the Lee family was hurt.
Once I saw my brother get out of his room, I told him to come to my room, and we jumped out the back of my window to get out of the house. That's my brother.
You can see his brother captured here on camera at the front door.
Can you please call an ambulance?
That's one of them.
You okay? Everybody okay, bro?
And those other people you see, well, they're the ones who were in the car. Lee says they all walked away, even the driver.
What are you guys doing?
But they left, yeah. They had blood coming down their faces. And
while they wait for police to find the driver, the Lee family is also just waiting to return home.
They're waiting for an estimate on all the damages, how long it's going to take, how long we're going to be outside the house. It looks like right now just preliminary, maybe a few months.
In the meantime,
and we're, digging around the debris to try to find any shoes we could wear.
They sort through what's left.
Really learning to appreciate what you have while you have it.
Grateful the family is safe and their southeast Portland community is rallying around them.
It's mind-blowing. We don't even have words for how amazed we are. Just complete strangers saying I have hammers, I have tools, I'm willing to help if you need anything. It could have been a lot worse.
Mind-blowing in his words. Ashley, there are so many things about this video that just leave you really wondering. I mean, we saw the driver and the passengers there as they made their getaway, if we could call it a getaway. What are police saying? Any leads on tracking these guys down?
Yeah, David, I checked in with police tonight and they say they haven't made any arrests, but it's likely they know of at least one person who was there that night. The family told me that one of those people actually left their driver's license behind, and police say the car was not stolen.
Well, I guess they have a lot of clues to go on then. Thank you, Ashley. What a story. Looking forward to the follow-up there. Thanks so much. To an update now from Marion County, where a grand jury has found 3 law enforcement officers were justified when using deadly force when they shot and killed a man near Salem. A warning, some of the images here may be disturbing to some viewers, though we are showing them to you to help provide some valuable context. Keep in mind through all of this, a man loses his life, though you will not see that portion on video. Let's walk you through it. Police just released several videos that show some of what happened back on November 24th. That includes Ring camera video from the suspect's own home that appears to show how it started. Justin Jordan spent several minutes hitting and kicking his front door and staring into the camera. He then went outside. You can see him pacing up and down the road with what looked like 2 guns. At one point, he puts a gun to his head and threatens to, quote, kill everyone around him. Authorities say he also pointed the gun at neighbors, fired it multiple times, in one case hitting a woman's car while she was still inside. Police were on scene for just a few minutes trying to get him to drop the gun while he could be heard yelling, "Kill me." The officers shot him when they say he raised one of the pistols and pointed it at them. Jordan died at the scene. In your headlines this evening, Portland Fire and Rescue will be changing how it responds to overdose calls in the downtown core. Starting January 16th, it'll launch a 6-month pilot out of Station 1 in Old Town, sending not full fire trucks to overdose calls, but instead a special response vehicle staffed by a paramedic and an EMT.
They are EMTs, they are paramedics, they have education on overdoses, but I think the biggest difference is the trauma-informed care, and that's the difference in the kind of the empathetic side of it.
Well, the goal is to free up resources for other types of calls. Last year, Portland Fire responded to nearly 7,000 overdose calls, a third of those in the downtown area. Blair Best will have a closer look at the pilot project coming up at 6:30 on The Story. Tonight, a new report is calling into question how Oregon spent hundreds of millions of dollars meant to help people pay rent during the pandemic. The audit focused on the state's emergency rental assistance program. It could not confirm that $426 million in funds were actually used properly and went to people who needed that money the most. The state audits division also found a critical lack of oversight and issued its first, quote, adverse opinion of a program in 25 years. While auditors acknowledge the pressure and urgency created by the pandemic, it's urging the state's housing agency to implement recommendations to better prepare for future emergencies. And in Wasco County, Oregon, state police are looking for the person or people who cut down 7 highway signs. This bizarre case of vandalism happened between December 15th and 20th on Highway 97 and State Routes 293 and 218. But the signs, you can see, were not stolen. They were all later found dumped alongside State Route 293 near Antelope. Damage estimated at $500 per sign. If you know anything, you're asked to call Oregon State Police. Matt?
Thanks, David. Boy, it's still snowing up in the Cascades, and this is just the appetizer, really. You see Timberline Lodge there right now. Temperature not all that cold, 31 degrees, just below freezing at 6,000 feet. But since yesterday, 8 inches of new snow. So we continue to build the base. We're over 30 inches now for the first time since at least early December. So here's the next system that comes in. This is tomorrow night, Friday night at 10 o'clock, okay? So this is the strongest and coldest storm we've seen in a long, long time, that combination. And that's when the snow is really going to begin to pile up in the Cascades. Notice at 10 o'clock, rain just edging into western Oregon, nothing in the mountains yet. But as we advance through time, suddenly all of the Cascades lit up in blue, meaning the snowfall there. And that's through Saturday morning. It's going to continue through the day Saturday up in the Cascades, and that's Saturday night into Sunday. And it keeps going after that with ensuing storms. Here's a look at the snow levels in the snowfall forecast for Mount Hood through the week. And look at this, 6 to 16 inches, 8 to 18 inches, 10 to 20. And it keeps going, and the snow level never gets above about 3,000 feet. So even when it comes up a little bit, Monday night and Tuesday, the passes and the ski areas will continue to get plastered with snow. That adds up to at least 3 feet and maybe even double that as we go through the next 7 to 10 days. So it is a very, very snowy forecast for the mountains. In the near future, snow will begin, as I said, late Friday night, Saturday morning, 2 to 6 inches all the way down to 2,000 feet, but above 3,000 feet, that includes the passes and the ski areas, up to 16 inches, and then more heavy snow on the way later next week. So if you plan on driving in the mountains, make sure your car is ready for winter travel. David?
Great advice. Thank you, Matt. Tens of millions of dollars from the federal government are now inbound to Oregon's greater Silicon Forest, and it could mean a big boost to jobs, this time in Gresham. John Adams is in the newsroom. So, John, where exactly is the money going?
Well, David, $72 million in funding will be coming from the federal government as part of the CHIPS Act that will allow Microchip Technology Incorporated to expand their footprint in Gresham and add hundreds of jobs. Microchip Technology announced an $800 million expansion of its Gresham facility in early 2023. And now we know where a chunk of the funding will be coming from. President Biden signed the CHIPS Act into law in 2022 in an effort to strengthen U.S. supply chains and to bring semiconductor manufacturing jobs back to American cities like Gresham.
Any opportunity we can have investments in the community that provides family wage jobs is phenomenal. It really is. The CHIPS Act is an incredible opportunity for companies and organizations to access investment dollars so that they can make those things happen.
The expansion is expected to triple the output of microcontroller units that are used in everything from the automotive industry to aerospace and defense, and add roughly 600 jobs at the facility. Around 100 construction jobs will also be needed to build the addition. Gresham Mayor Travis Snowfall says this investment shows how important this area is to chip production in the U.S.
It just speaks to the importance of the city of Gresham as a rising star in our ability to contribute to bringing these jobs back on shore, bringing advanced manufacturing back on shore, but not just onshore back to the United States, but onshore right here in our community here in Gresham.
Senator Ron Wyden spoke with us today about what this level of investment means for the state of Oregon.
This is the product of years of bipartisan work to create more good-paying jobs here in Oregon and to strengthen Oregon's role in the global economy.
And Microchip will be holding a press conference tomorrow on this announcement, and we hope to learn more about when the project will be completed at that time. David?
John Adams in the newsroom tonight. Thank you, John.